This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Personal foul. Clipping. Sacked! Come on!
That's right.
Everybody, and Clomp, the 9 to noon State Fair experience is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 9 to noon show. I'm Paul Allen. That's Nordo. He's the producer. What's going on? And welcome to Carousel Park, adjacent to the grandstand at the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Hurry, hurry, step right up. See the amazing 2-ton Covenant with a combined 4 chins, 3 eyebrows, too much time for Teddy, and 1 burning desire to just get out alive. Merch Mania is right around the corner. Mad Producer 1, if you'd like to follow him via X, if you're so inclined. Tell them what they need to do and why this is so special, and good morning.
Good morning. First of all, thanks to all of you who are already here in the Mesh Besher and Spence stands. We have the merch area right around the corner here. We're selling T-shirts. We got sweatshirts. We got all kinds of hats and everything. We got a cash contest every day if you want to be our State Fair Rube of the Day. We're right here in Carousel Park, and you can enter right here for your chance at $200 thanks to the aforementioned Mesh Besher and Spence. And whether it's JJ season, PA, it's 9 plus 18 equals 6.
Touchdown, Vikings!
We got a ton of cool shirts and a cool merch as our promotion staff does terrifically every single year. So you just got to come and hang out with us. If you can't make it to the fair, you can't make it to be part of the Clomp, you can go to KFAN.com, keyword store, and you can shop there as well.
And the fan stands are presented by Mesh, Besher, and Spence, part of the vast and ever-expanding clientele we have with the State Fair performances here at KFAN. 9 to noon cracks open the State Fair for your favorite radio station, FM 100.3, KFAN, RA32, Covenant Cleanup. 9 to noon kicks off the State Fair yearly for your favorite audio leader.
There we go.
FM 100.3, KFAN, followed by the program with Dan Cole, the Common Man, bumper to bumper with Borrero. The Power Trip will come here and basically draw more people to the Mesh, Besher, and Spence stands and the adjacent area than every single act, including one of my favorites, Daryl Hall, performing in this grandstand. I don't know what the date or dates are for that, but it's going to be packed. The crowd will be voluminous, and they'll be here to have a funky good time. And good morning.
Yeah, appreciate the grass that you see in front of you right now. It'll be gone. It'll be gone, whether it's via raindrops or the massive crowds that the Power Trip Morning Show, the clomping and the trotting over the next 6-7 days here. It's going to be dirt by the time we're done.
Now, with the merchandise around the corner, thank you very much for your patronage. If you are so inclined to purchase some of these cool KFAN hats that we have the 18 plus 9 equals 6. It has a Vikings bent to it. I happen to like that in hoodie fashion. And what's transpiring is it's iHeart Audio doing its part. And the question would be, how are we supposed to bring Adam Thielen to Minnesota if we don't have any money? And iHeart is a longtime partner with the Minnesota Vikings, so the way I look at it, we're doing our part. You crush those shirts and hats and hoodies so we can shovel money into the Kwesi train like it's coal into Nordo's baby choo-choo, and maybe bring AT-19 here. They found a little extra cash yesterday, did the Minnesota Vikings, from under the cover of darkness. They traded defensive lineman Harrison Phillips to the New York Jets. And just like that, Dirty Harry is gone. So what does that mean? Do we actually think, as Nordo put on X last night, do we actually think Tyreek Hill is going to play for free? You got to buy those hats and those shirts and those hoodies so we can fuel the Kwesi train for McCarthy firing deep right side. Caught Tyreek Hill. Who knew? Holy cow, Nordo told us at the Great Minnesota Clop together. But iHeart's trying to do its part to fuel the Kwesi train. But seriously, though, we did get a little splashy with that Harrison Phillips trade. It's not like he's an All-Pro, or it's not like he's voted All-Pro, or he's voted Pro Bowler. But he's been a fixture in the Covenant. And there are several ways to unpack this. We'll do some of it now. We will do some of it with Tatum Everett from the Vikings Entertainment Network, joining us within the next 15 minutes. But for the purposes of those who have taken time to join us now, 9 to Noon has established the premise for about the last 2.5 weeks. Defensive line depth for your Minnesota Vikings is the strength of the 2025 Minnesota Vikings. And it was validated in a sneaky little production meeting Bursich, Lieber, Tatum, and yours truly had before the Texans game when a certain general manager verified that take, saying, yeah, that's probably, no, in fact, it is the strength of the Minnesota Vikings. So then we play the games, and we have the joint practices against the Patriots, and we have training camp and everything. And speaking of from under the cover of darkness, to some it would be something called, but he's making his mark in the NFL. We got this Elijah Williams. He wears 99, undrafted from Morgan State. So he's performing so well, along with drafted rookie defensive lineman Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, who kind of lit it up a little bit against the Patriots in the joints and the preseason game, that they're like, you know what? We love him. He's an upstanding citizen, fantastic off the field, actually one of the better I've met in the last 10 or 15 years from a philanthropic standpoint. You don't have to worry about him off the field, but to get something, you got to give something. And we want to bank some cash, and we want to get some draft picks. So we're going to move Dirty Harry to the AFC East. I don't know where it goes from here, but like Nordo said on X last night, if you really want to go out and get Tyreek Hill, you better find some money. And good morning.
Good morning. I think that the bottleneck of that position, PA, and Jalen Redmond, I don't know if that's the obvious name that steps in, whether it's Tyrion, Ingram Dawkins, Taki Taimani. You look at the list of names beyond the depth. Harrison Phillips felt to me that was an assumed starter. So that was kind of why it was a bit of a surprise to me. It's just like, okay, we're going to plug Harry in there.
Yeah.
And he's going to be next to Javon and Jonathan Allen, and that's how we're going to roll. And it'll be interesting to see how they have to cut somebody who potentially makes this 53. Well, they answered that yesterday. Now, Elijah Williams is so intriguing to me. Again, he's listed at like 6'5", 270. No chance he's under $3 billion. And I know that as a guy that's 250 myself.
Honey.
He's a massive humanity, and he's cut out of stone, and he's making waves here in the preseason and through camp. So, delightful opportunity for him. But all the Tyreek jokes aside, this does kind of play into a bit for me.
Okay, continue.
Well, maybe it's Tyreek, maybe it's Brandon Powell, whoever it is.
Go ahead and doubt him.
Free agency never fails on the Kwesi train. Free agency never fails on the Kwesi train.
Try that one with the mouth guitar, Antone.
And you'll get to listen at about 2:53 today. I believe you'll get to hear Mouth Guitar Guy for like the 30th straight year making his way to the state fair.
Mouth Guitar Guy, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get a witness and a round of applause?
He gets here early. He leaves late.
He's state fair immortality. He's Dan called the common man in the program immortality.
Program staple.
And I think he's threatened to, I think he's pondered moving to California about the last 13 fairs we've been here. But lo and behold, here he is, mouth guitar guy.
And keep hold of that dream. Someday it's going to happen. Someday you're going to find your way to SoCal.
Pining to do Quincy Jones' Street Beater to start 9 to noon, where it'd be like, wow, 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 now. Wow, now, now. Wow, 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 wow. That may happen during the case of the Klon.
I feel like we're doing mouth guitar guy an injustice with that. So maybe that's where he goes today.
I'm just worried Blake Moore, because he's a Packers fan, guiding the Great Ship Love Covenant at FM 100.3 KFAN, won't take it out of the podcast, and the Quincy Jones family is going to sue us for all we have. Just think about it. Street Beater, really?
I miss real music. Now, to that end, with Harrison Phillips, though, we always asked for more thrust up the middle. That goes into maybe why you pick up a Hargrave and Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Big body in the middle, good against the run. We were talking about it even earlier this week, his ability to get his hands up. You saw that as kind of a stark change in a focus last year. I think he had 4 passes defensed from the line. You like those things.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, clearly the regime thinks that he's potentially replaceable. And so you save, I think we ate half his salary this year, like 3.7. And so that's part of the dead cap and such. But next year you save 7 and change. So are they going to roll the money over into 2026? Or do they potentially see a trouble spot from a depth standpoint at the wideout spot? Is that Tyreek? Is it Adam Thielen? Oh, we love the local angles. Maybe it's Thielen in a coming home party and a reunion of the ages. Or it's somebody potentially with punt and kick return equity. But certainly the flexibility combined with, they're like, we can't cut this Morgan State cat who holds like every school record at the freaking position.
How about that?
All the sacks and the TFLs, and he just eats people up at the line.
HBCU for you.
I can't put that guy on the practice squad.
Right.
So as part of that, maybe in some ways he becomes a casualty of money. Harrison Phillips does. Best of luck to him in New York. And,
oh, yeah.
There's no ill will there. And again, I assumed Harrison Phillips would be here and starting games for the Purple. So a bit shocking, but it provides flexibility and it provides maybe some money in the pocket, a couple of coins and a couch cushion that they can use to upgrade in another spot.
It had a little splash to it. I mean, just a little bit, because it just like came out of nowhere, at least for yours truly. But you know what? You need the splash before the Tyreek Hill tidal wave hits. Generally, there's a little splash, and then all of a sudden the tidal wave hits. So what's next? I mean, release a depth chart. I mean, with these surprises that are hitting us like this.
You think KO would find a way to make it work with Tyreek? You think they'd find like he could just fit into the offense potentially with that speed?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. In fact, I've been going back through the annals of Minnesota Vikings football and wondering, because Kevin O'Connell, the reigning coach of the year, can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause for our head coach as being good at what he does and smart and amenable and he acquiesces and he's like super cool and everything. But the what's next plan, after something like last night takes place under the cover of darkness and Dirty Harry gets traded to the New York Jets, I'm expecting a depth chart to be released today by the Minnesota Vikings with Minnesota Max as the number 2 quarterback.
QB2.
QB2 might be on the depth chart, might not be on the depth chart, might be QB4, but that's why we play the games. We do have a game tomorrow night, by the way, on the vast and ever-expanding audio network. The 9 to noon audio network at 7 o'clock becomes the Minnesota Vikings audio network, KFAN, your flagship station for Vikings football for well over 20 years now.
Oh, good.
I know you're happy for us. And a game against the Titans tomorrow night, which Pete Bursich, Ben Lieber, and yours truly will deliver in radio-only fashion. We got no simulcast tomorrow evening, so just radio on KFAN. Maybe Brosmer, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow night. Brosmer should play a lot. Brett Rippon probably will play. Maybe they'll cut time tomorrow night for the honor of staying and donning the purple and gold. Maybe we play with no receivers tomorrow night, and here's why. And we use nothing but tight ends and running backs from Nissan down Nashville way. I wasn't aware of this while calling races last night, but then the con Nordo, that's one of his nicknames.
Don't hurt your voice.
Some of the others include Mad Producer and Juicebox.
Don't forget about Stink.
Stink was eliminated when you almost punched me a decade ago.
Yeah.
But he was texting me last night saying, do we have any receivers for this Titans game? And I'm calling races and like spotting up and stuff like that. So absence makes the heart grow fonder, ladies and gentlemen. So then I started looking into it and I'm like, dang, Jordan Addison, Ty Felton got a little nicked up.
Yep.
Fleming, my man's first name, Dominic?
Dante?
Dante Fleming, thank you. He got nicked up, and Jalen Naylor's already missing some time, and Justin Jefferson just came back with that swoon over his hammy. So since all the receivers keep getting hurt, maybe we revolutionize the game tomorrow night and play with nothing but running backs and tight ends. What do you think about that, Nakan?
Well, I'm excited for the opportunity to see if Bryson Nesbitt can return punts. That's what I'm excited about in the third preseason game, because that's what we'll be left with. Now, good news coming out. I saw a Seaford post on X. He said that not no worse for the wear, but nothing serious occurred with the Knicks, as you say, with Addison and Felton. Mm-hmm. But as part of that, I think if you're KO, you're probably thinking, all right, let's shut it down, right? Apparently, it was a super competitive, super physical practice, a ton of 11-on-11 work, and some guys got banged up a little bit. So if you're going to take maybe Addison out of the mix, you were thinking about getting him a bunch of reps tomorrow night, but then he has to leave practice. Or in the case of Felton, you have plans for the third round terp. Maybe you don't use them. So it will be Bryson Nesbitt returning punts. It will be the Wolf of walk-ons, Thayer Thomas, on all red zone related activities.
Do you ever not think about beating Prize Picks for its last dollar?
It's all. I mean, I have a few passions in life, but
this Prize Picks bit
that might be on the list.
Made the mistake of letting the con hit a six-teamer or a six-personer last week, and now all of a sudden he's like Jimmy the Greek Schneider reincarnate. May God rest his soul.
Well, I need to figure out what the running back situation is going to be like, because I still haven't been able to pronounce. I think I'm just going to go with Xavier Valade.
It is. That's what it is. Xavier.
Xavier.
Yep. And at Arizona State, they called him X Valade. I don't. I'm not even sure he's going to play tomorrow night, but nevertheless, if he does, it's if you're.
I assume it's just depth, right? Like it's third preseason game depth, and maybe if Mason and Jones don't play, then either Ty Chandler or Xavier Scott don't play.
Right.
Then you have Trey Stewart and you have X.
Right. And you need X and Trey Stewart and Zay and Ty Chandler. Why? Because they're going to play only running backs and tight ends tomorrow night. Why? Because every wide receiver keeps getting hurt. But if I'm Xavier Valade's mom,
I got to see what Giovanni Ricci's stats are for tomorrow.
If I'm Xavier Valade's mom or dad, and I was really proud about that name I gave my baby boy, then I don't really need everybody calling him X all the time. I mean, can't you use his full name? It's kind of along lines of Lucky Jackson. I mean, somebody was proud with that name Dontavion that they gave him, but nevertheless, he's lucky. Hi, Katie Dempsey. Good to see you, and welcome to the club. Welcome to the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Regarding segment number 1,
The game is over.
When we return, we believe Tatum Everett from the Vikings Entertainment Network will be joining us. Here's the deal, courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon includes Dane Moore. Now, this is an elite NBA mind, okay? With the Dane Moore podcast.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Covers the Minnesota Timberwolves, knows a lot about the NBA. Super cool. Also juiced into A-Rod and Mark Laurie, which doesn't hurt. He'll be joining about 10 o'clock here at Carousel Park, adjacent to the grandstand. And then at 11 o'clock, Sky Uma Gophers football. Head coach P.J. Fleck will be here with us at the fan stand. That's when Justin Gard and Mike Grimm take over, and yours truly heads to Nashville. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. Brett Blakemore's guiding the great ship Love Covenant at FM 100.3 KFAN. Let's have a great time at the State Fair today, okay, ladies and gentlemen? It's so beautiful outside, and it's so beautiful to be here. Great to see all of you, and we'll be right back. sorry act. Perhaps, with the outside chance or fair chance she's listening right now. Tatum Everett from the Vikings Entertainment Network. FISA, Fairness in Being Sorry Act. I mean, perhaps, she's trying to park.
Yeah.
Okay, which is, she wrote like, parking here is crazy. And I wrote back, well, replace the word crazy with awful.
Right.
So, I mean,
plenty of adjectives work in this case.
I feel for her right now because she's trying to get into the clump. We got Dame Moore at 10 o'clock, and we want to do a great job with Tatum Everett because she's fantastic at what she does. But, man, if I seem a little tired right now, that would be accurate. Called races at Canterbury last night till like 9 o'clock and then went home and took care of some errands. And I got to the State Fair at 3:45 in the morning and sat in the media lot beginning at 3:45 because I was worried about Como traffic from last year.
Yeah.
Not this year, last year. So
you were the first person into the fair this year.
100%. I had to knock the barricade over. I found my nice spot, reclined in the Ford Edge from Metropolitan Ford and metropolitanford.com. Go see EB, Eric Bjerregaard.
Look for your fob for 35 minutes.
Tell him you need a new ride or a previously owned ride and watch what they do for you at old Metropolitan Ford. Tell them Eric Nordquist and Paul Allen told you to drop on by.
I bet you they offer replacement fobs, too.
Well, I don't have a fob. Yeah, I do have a fob. Yeah, I
just like saying fob.
I was a little tired this morning. Left Eden Prairie. I was going to leave at 6:15. I had to leave till 6:30. And I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody. Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe same fishbowl, just under a different rock. I couldn't find my car started, and I couldn't find my car keys for 15 minutes.
It's lost inside the vehicle.
It was lost inside my vehicle. So now the sun has risen, so I can back out and get all this beautiful natural light and turn the car off, and the sucker starts again. And I still can't find the keys. So I look through my bag that's going to Nashville and my other bag that's going to Nashville and my work bag, my satchel and all that. Still can't find my keys. So I go in and get the spare fob, and I'm like, that's cool, but it's a little unnerving that I can't find my keys.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we get here, and I reach underneath my seat, a place I looked 5 times. Lo and behold, there are my keys.
Nothing better than the familiar jingle.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The familiar jingle could take many tentacles to it. But so that's been my morning, being a little tired, wanting to get here and not jump into the Como clump. You got hit by the clump a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, 25 minutes to get from Chaska to exit 280.
Oh, that ain't bad.
And then another 45 to actually get in.
25 minutes from Chaska to 280. That's
everything.
That's Ricky Racer type stuff.
Shout out to my brothers in Orange out 212 way for finishing that project.
Shout out to Deputy Chief Tim Flynn, undoubtedly, for the St. Paul Police Department recruiting video that I voiced, and Nordo produced it, because clearly when you got to St. Paul, that 55 and the 35 didn't matter.
So it was pretty good for me, and I feel for anybody. It's clear that a lot of people had the same idea. We're going to get a jump on the fair early, and we're going to get out here and have fun, which is awesome to have people in the stands this early and to have the party that we're already seeing here at the fair.
Yeah.
But Tatum's taking an L. I mean, every guest that we have, PA, is nice enough, in some cases, to furnish their own ticket if we can't hook up prior to, or we do Venmo or something like that. But they go through the clump. They pay the parking. They deal with that. They sit there. And they do all of that just to support the show, just to hang out at the fan, just to be here in Carousel Park with us.
Love you.
They go through all the work like Tatum is right now. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to do all the work. We're going to put you on for 45 minutes, put you on for an hour. We're going to party it up, yuck it up. She's, I believe, is going to be going to Nashville with you here. And she might just have to stop trying to park and turn around and leave for check-in to leave on the flight.
Her most recent text was, I've never been more stressed. LOL. And she's married. Holy cow. I'm so, don't be sorry. You're part of the team. And guess what? This happens to 8.4 out of every 10 guests that join 9 to noon. We're used to it. We'll move things around.
Yeah, no big deal.
So we're going to have a beautiful conversation with Tatum Everett, who did excellent work on the sideline during the simulcast on Fox 9 and KFAN. So she's going to roll in here all frazzled and everything. She's going to go Paul Charchian on it. And like, we're going to try to talk about something. She'll be like, I just can't believe there are so many people who identify the fair on day one and come this early and the traffic was so bad ever.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. What is the difference between whether it's...
Give me 15 seconds.
It's anybody that's out here that maybe this is your only day. Maybe you go twice. Maybe you're a freaking holic.
Mm-hmm.
No judgment either way. Do your thing. But there's a difference between Tatum, who is a periodic guest, one time and one show only, come now, come everybody, versus the guy that's been the Friday co-host for 15 years.
Yeah, who still decided to take some aggressive bus from Plymouth to Falcon Heights and leaving at 7:30 or 7:45 and thinking that was okay.
I think one year he tried to do the initials game in St. Louis Park until 8:45, 8:47-ish, and then thought he could still get here before the start of the feast. So there's a difference between him knowing what the clip is, enduring it and not adjusting over the course of time, versus the wonderful Tatum Everett, who is dealing with the absolute freaking worst of it in this moment. Talking about traffic, of course, at the fair, all of you had to deal with it, which, this...
Oh, wow. Well,
what do we got?
The full-time package handler, one of my best friends, Lonnie Anderson, is listening to us loudly and clearly.
Oh, sweet.
From Ireland. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2... Man, it's like middle of the afternoon over there.
He knows the Vikings game isn't for a month, right?
He says hello to the con.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but see, you see what the package handler is doing is what I did with the State Fair today. I got here at 3:45 in the morning and slept in my Ford Edge because I didn't want to deal with that Como traffic from last year, let alone this year.
He's got a month to see every single castle in Ireland.
Yeah.
Potentially jump down to London or Manchester if he so chooses.
Oh, you know what he's doing? He can't find it. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
You see, we have so many wonderful, loving, intrepid reporters who care enough about Minnesota Vikings football that they'll utilize my military field binoculars, which are like 10 by 75s. Don't at me. And we'll just we will look southeast. Oh, there's Soldier Field. Can't find it there. And then you look in Minneapolis. Oh, U.S. Bank Stadium. No, I can't find it there either. What are we looking for? The Vikings' first loss. So we couldn't find any through the first three games. So we sent the package handler to Ireland. He's in Dublin looking for it. And he hasn't stated whether he can find it or not. But I think he's going to have a tough time finding it in Chicago, in Minneapolis, in Dublin, then at Tottenham Hotspur. And in fact, after the Minnesota Vikings start the season 5-0, we're going to do the National Football League a favor and take a bye so everybody can figure out how to beat this football team.
Just let the rest of the league catch up.
Yeah.
Is really why the bye week is placed where it is.
100%. I mean, the team, the owners probably will send the entire team to Turks and Caicos for a bye-week vacation, but they're also going to run on the sand so they can keep their cardio up to come out of the bye and beat them champions, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, that's the thing, though, is we got to temper our emotions because PA, if we go into the break 5-0,
I haven't tempered my emotions for 24 years, and it continues to work.
It does indeed. That is very true. But you go into the bye at 5-0.
Hey,
they're going to start talking. They're going to start talking about us on the big TV stations. PA, you're going to start getting loud. You're going to start seeing power rankings.
Right, and then
start seeing purple at the top of the table.
And then it's going to be the talk out of both sides of your mouth terrorism.
Yeah.
From inside the old facility, because you're going to be 5-0, and like Nordo said, it's going to be some ESPN show with Courtney Cronin and Stephen A. Smith, and they're like, take a look at power rankings around the National Football League, and holy cow, the Minnesota Vikings are 5-0. Who saw that? 9 to noon at the Great Minnesota Clomp together.
Correct.
We saw it.
We said it first.
But see, then you're going to get people from the inside being like, this is, I mean, you don't want to be so popular. You don't want to be popularized. You don't want to be the target at which to shoot. You want to be the one that stays under the radar and kind of off the radar and stuff like that.
Such a weird mentality, by the way. Kind of the trying to battle or balance the duality of, well, we want to have that chip on our shoulder every year. Everybody counted us out, man. You wouldn't believe it. At the beginning of the year, everyone's talking about the QB and so many new faces and so much change. The kiddies are poised to do it again with Goff and everybody. So we want to stay under the radar, as you mentioned. But we also do want to win every single game.
Everyone.
I believe so. So balancing that duality now, I mean, the tough thing with the Eagles, though, I'm glad we got it at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Same.
Because I don't need Brandon Powell muffing a punt. I don't need Quez Watkins uncovered. I don't need some of the weird Halloween-like things that happen at Lincoln Financial to this team.
It's age-old.
I don't want to see flea flickers. I don't want to see having tight ends having to sweep across the entire O-line to chip a guy and then we got strip sacks. I don't want to see any of that. I needed a U.S. Bank Stadium, and we got it right out of the break.
Down memory lane we go. It's not Lincoln Financial, so therefore Quez Watkins for 60 and change, middle of the field, which was open all night that season.
Open all night.
Ain't got to worry about that. Jefferson and the old pylon trick. We're going to beat the Eagles, and it's like, all right, I know I'm branded as this cheerleader and Barney the Purple Dinosaur, copyright noon to 3, but seriously, this pylon rule's about the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. How is that not a touchdown?
Yeah.
I mean, when I say it's age-old, we can go back to after the 2004 season, which would have been my third season calling Vikings football. They beat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field.
With the moon from Randy.
Randy Moss on that play, playing with a high ankle sprain. I mean, if it's just a nondescript regular season game, ain't no way that tough HOF plays in that game. He had a bad ankle during the course of the week. And he dug so deep to put a double move on Al Harris, a young corner from Texas A&M Kingsville, that he got open in the end zone and he scored a big touchdown. And then the faux mooning, where Joe Buck on TV's like, well, I can't believe with children watching Billy Christie, Susie, Antoine, and Tamika, they're watching right now, and that's disgusting what Randy did. Joe had no idea what he was talking about, with all due respect. But see, then the next week the team went to Philadelphia. And that's like Nordo was saying. I mean, it's Lincoln Financial with the mean fans and the Bleep Millie sign in the street and everything before the NFC title game, where it's of the macabre. It's not a football game. It's of the macabre. When you, I think that's MACCBRE, when you head into Lincoln Financial. Because in that game, in fact, even before that, the first Monday Night Football game I ever called in my life was at Lincoln Financial Field. Dante Culpepper was the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. The Eagles were good, and the Vikings were good, as that nice lady gets her roll on in,
there we go.
in row 2. But Vikings are playing the Eagles tooth and nail. And they're gonna make a big play right before halftime. Culpepper goes running down to the goal line. He's gonna get in. Linebacker Mark Semino smacks him. Ball pops out, Eagles ball, no points before halftime, and of course the Eagles went on to win. But in the playoff game, in the divisional round after the 04 season, and after that's disgusting, the Eagles had a play where they threw into the end zone. Donovan McNabb threw into the end zone to tight end L.J. Smith. It bounced off 2 helmets. 4 Vikings' hands were inches from it, an interception in this playoff game, and then it bounces off the tight end L.J. Smith's head, right into his hands. Touchdown, EAGLES.
Yeah.
Stuff there is of the macabre, man. It's just crazy how things develop at Lincoln Financial. But we got the champions here, week number 6, trying to go 6-0.
And if we go 6-0, they're going to start talking about us.
Yeah.
We dethroned Mr. Jalen Hurts.
Let's just beat the Bears.
We handled Saquon.
Yep. See, Nordo likes to cast his gaze the way of season-long immortality, and I'm not mad at that because I do it too. What's going on there, brother? Good to see a bass player for the Allman Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, performing tonight at the at the Great Minnesota Get-Together Grandstand.
You're a 1 week at a time guy.
Yeah, I'm more 1 week at a time. Let's just figure out how to beat the Chicago Bears. So then that Tuesday morning, those of you listening to 9 to noon, you'll hear 1 in a row, 4 KO. 1 in a row, 4 KO. 1 in a row, 4 KO. That's all we got to do is beat Caleb and start the season 1-0. Let's pause and let's convene with Tatum Everett from the Vikings Entertainment Network when we return to the Great Minnesota Get-Together at FM 100.3 KFAN.
Personal foul. Clipping.
Welcome back, Minnesota State Fair. Thanks to everybody for hanging out in the Mesh Besher and Spence fan stands. It is 9 to noon. Still patiently awaiting the arrival of VEN's Tatum Everett. I can tell you, as far as the rest of our first fair show goes, we are going to have Dane Moore in the mix around 10:15 today as we dig heavy into the Howl. Late addition to the fair schedule next week will include head coach Chris Finch. So it'll be fun after spending more than an hour in studio with us a couple of months ago at the completion of the season.
How about that Finchy manna that dropped out of nowhere last night?
The head coach is going to join us early next week, so look forward to that. Maybe later in the show, we'll actually run through everybody that's going to be joining. But then in the 11 a.m. hour, as the host of 9 to noon departs on a jet plane to Nashville for third preseason game action. Hot third preseason game action. We're going to go maroon and gold. Justin Guard, sideline reporter, voice of Golden Gopher football and hoops. Mike Grimm. They're going to be right here in the booth with me. We'll yuck it up for a bit. And then head coach P.J. Fleck is expected to join us as part of the final hour today for the first show at the fair. And it's, of course, a big one a week from today. The Gophers kick off their season against the Buffalo Bulls. And I don't think Khalil Mack's on that team. Now, you know, openers and the opportunity to start 1-0. My vibe is this non-conference schedule isn't the toughest that P.J. Fleck's team has ever seen. But excited to hear from Grimm and JG. Just from listening to the Pair and a Spare podcast in terms of what this team looks like specifically. They're kind of going through what the Vikings are going through. How's the kid QB going to do? How's Drake Lindsey going to fare? And maybe even get the coach's perspective at some point during the final hour on what he saw. And is he surprised, not surprised with what Mr. Brosmer, Max Brosmer, is currently doing this time in purple and gold, and the opportunity that he has in front of him and becoming, frankly, after that interview that PA did with Mr. Brosmer, I just can't see how they let him out of the building. I think that's a massive mistake. The obvious maturity that he has, some of the skills he has, and we can argue about arm talent and all of those things, but when you look at the long game and the long play of putting people in spots to grow, putting people in spots to perform, and the long play of this team. I know you don't know exactly what you have out of McCarthy just yet. We'll get a chance on a Monday night in Soldier Field to see it, but you can't get rid of Max Brosmer. You got to keep this guy in the freaking building one way or another. But excited later in the show to chat with and to hear from the head coach on what he thought about his tenure in time, albeit short.
All right,
Max Brosmer.
Here's the deal. Tatum Everett has arrived, and that clump she just went through, give her this whole thing's probably going to cost me $200 with what she paid to get in and that whole thing. No. Make it louder, ladies and gentlemen, because She was discombobulated and frazzled, and you know what? The Great Minnesota Clomp Together has done that to all of us.
It has
at some point or another. So come on in here. Here, you get the chair.
No, I'm
It's
gonna.
a sweet Viking shirt, by the way.
I need a breather.
Holy cow.
that is nice.
Okay, at Tatum Everett via X. Viking.
Well, I don't. I got hacked.
What?
Yeah, so I
What?
don't have X anymore. So follow me on
You don't?
Instagram or TikTok. I
Oh,
don't know.
geez.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So I got hacked. I got my account back. So the last tweet I have is not my own. I didn't do it. I haven't been able to get back in.
I have a very, very important, pertinent question
Oh,
for you.
okay.
So will you be able to expense with the Vikings?
Oh,
WhatsApp?
We'll see.
That just saved you 200 in your Venmo, Nordo.
I think,
There we go.
No, not the will see. We need a they will.
It's up to Candace. Shout out Candace, who's probably listening.
Cinch.
Okay.
Candace Anderson.
And
Cinch.
Also,
I feel like I've always
shout
been
out.
cordial to you, Candace,
Yeah.
as we work through this budgetary
Yep.
situation.
Sorry for the down and distance on the simulcast. I'll never do it again. But anyway.
Also, major shout out to my best friend Sarah Bonson, who is listening right now. She was on the phone with me, telling me where to park. She gave me a state fair ticket because I also forgot you need a ticket to
Right,
get in. Yeah.
right.
So I'm about as non-rube when it comes to the fair as it gets. I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going. I thought I gave myself enough time.
You're good.
Turns out I'm wrong. Also, didn't know it was the first day.
Yeah,
so
it's the first
I
day.
may not have accepted that invite if I had
And
known.
you are our first guest.
Yeah.
Well, no pressure. She was only 30 minutes late.
No, we saved the best for first. But see, Tatum is from Louisiana. So I don't know if this is accurate, and Tatum's never said it, but it wouldn't surprise me. At the Louisiana State Fair, they pay you to come into the fair.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like they provide helicopters and drop you in the middle of some cow feeding thing. So they beg you to come. That's not the case here at the Great Minnesota Get Together, where it's always packed, it's always beautiful, and the Clomp is real. As you just learned, the Clomp is real, isn't it?
Well, I ended up being on like the exact opposite entrance near the grandstand.
Yeah.
So if you saw me running through you,
As soon as I
my
saw
apologies.
you walking from there, I knew the journey.
Yeah. Because I think I texted you. I was like, I'm in. And then it was like 10 minutes later.
The last one I saw.
Machinery Hill. You're checking out tractors, trying to
I
get to
would
a
walk
radio
through the
booth.
tractors.
Yeah.
I walked through the tractors.
Yeah, she saw a stretcher over there and declared it was the Green Bay Packers 2025 season. So
did.
just for some levity. Now Tatum with the Vikings Entertainment Network, Vikings.com, stuff like that. She, again, from Louisiana, attended Louisiana State University and has done TV and sports casting like fashion and sports director like fashion at several places, including one where, assumedly, you're going today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's the third preseason game. Some people don't go, stuff like that.
Sure.
But nevertheless, Tatum worked at a TV station in Nashville, and I believe it was Fox 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Which I knew that, but when I went to researching it this morning, is that the only market that actually has a Channel 17?
I don't know.
I've never heard of a channel.
Right.
I've never thought about that.
It'll probably be
before.
the home of the Minnesota Twins next year. I can't find the Twins. Or there they are on 17, which we watch a lot.
Yeah,
At least
I
they'll
don't
make
know.
it easier on us.
I don't think it's on Channel 17, though. I never had cable in Nashville,
Oh.
so I don't know.
Well, then why would you be Fox 17 if you're on Channel 11?
I don't answer questions. I just collect the paycheck.
I understand. So with Nashville, do you love Broadway and all that comes with it?
At times, when I moved there in 2018, it was like still big. Like I think it was growing and booming and kind of becoming that quintessential bachelorette central party animal lifestyle there. But I still felt like I got to experience a little bit of the originality into it because I didn't really wait in a lot of lines or at all to get into bars. Now you have to wait in line.
The answer has arrived
There
in my
you go.
phone. It says Candace Vikes. Yeah, I feel like I'm at the racetrack now. Come on with this
Be
text.
the right answer.
Don't stick me 200. Yeah, with this text.
Oh, yeah, Candace Canal.
Candace
Yeah.
Canal. That's
There you
right.
go.
Well, what about the money?
I don't know. It was $50.
We're happy for your marriage.
You know.
But
When you say she's sticking you, it's going to be sticking me because
No.
we got to figure out how to link the bank to
Yeah.
the online payment.
well,
bit.
Tatum just ruined the ruse because I was asking for 200. It's only 50, and we were going to cut the 150.
And I got a free ticket.
And right, exactly.
TV deals are treating those
Sorry,
teams
guys.
well these days.
But you were saying about Nashville, like Broadway and that whole thing.
Okay, so So I'm not like the biggest country music fan. I like old 90s country. I'm not like into it currently. And I just feel like a lot of those like older, more nostalgic places, some of them are not there in Broadway anymore. You know, like when I go, I recommend Tootsie's.
Sure.
Beauties. I recommend The Stage, or Tin Roofies even has live music and stuff. I don't want to go to like Dierks Bentley, Vegas style.
Oh, totally with you.
DJ.
Like the branded bars and restaurant
I'm
bits.
good with that bit.
So I went through a phase where Nashville, like, that was my speed. It's 3 floors, the beers are tall, the beers are cold, the whole thing. And I don't know if it's kids or whatnot. I'm out on Nashville now, just kind of in like there's not the allure. I'll go and
there are still good spots.
Twist my arm, I'll find a way to have fun. But I love the music there, and even as
it's terrific.
I don't want to say I'm anti-country, but I'm whatever as close you can get to anti-country as you can be without being anti-country. I'll listen to live country music any freaking day of the week. You go to these places, multiple floors. There's some freaking ska cover band on one floor. Then it's dueling pianos and some gal that's like
adorable.
I think she works there during the week, but on the weekend she's got this amazing voice and she's doing bits on another floor. And then you got country act on the main. Like, it's just unbelievable for music. So I like that part. I just don't like the rat race and trying to be shoulder to shoulder for beers anymore. I'm just too old for that.
Hot take, I love going to Broadway when it's like Friday afternoon. I went on to Broadway with a couple of my friends on a Monday afternoon because that's just the day off I had working the TV station. We had this amazing 2-piece acoustic set in front of us. We paid them so much money to play all the songs we wanted.
On a Monday.
And had the best time. I would rather do that than do the whole wait in line 20 minutes.
Every single time.
Shoulder to shoulder with people. Bleh.
A couple of things with that. For me, like we're talking about what a vibe is, Nashville or not. My vibe has become Sanibel Island, where the average age is 62, and everybody goes to bed at 8:45 in the evening. So therefore, I like that.
Fantasy Fest in the Keys?
Even though I've never been there. Now, the Keys, that's the bomb. Secondly, with these hole-in-the-wall or off-the-beaten-path places you're talking about, we had a preseason game against the Tennessee Titans within the last 5, 6, 7 years. And so myself and Chris Hockey with the Power Trip Morning Show and the road producer for the Vikings Radio Network, Chris can sing, if you haven't known that. So we went into a place, and they lined up for karaoke. And the karaoke there, I mean, they are really, really good with it. A lot of them, and they bring people and stuff like that. And then Hockey rolled up and did a Journey song.
Oh, wow.
And holy cow, it's like people were having conversations. It's like, whoa, hey, who's that?
Yeah.
So we might do that tonight.
That's fine. You should. You should. I think that there's a really good place off of like Free Press Alley or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Printers Alley. That's it. Printers Alley. Free Press Alley.
This is Tatum Everett from the Vikings Entertainment Network. She's fantastic and very nice to join us here at the Great Minnesota Get Together. We're going to do another segment with Tatum when we return, talk about the team and Harrison Phillips and some of the players that she has some really good storylines associated with that I think is really cool. And that will start hour number 2 from the Great Minnesota Get Together known as the State Fair. This is 9 to noon on KFAN.